Summer energy just hits different, doesn't it? One minute you're writing an email campaign for your Christmas in July sale, and the next minute you're cutting up watermelon and refereeing a popsicle meltdown between your two kids. If you've been trying to keep your normal pace lately and it's just not working, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just in a new season, and that season is summer break. I'm Laura Davis, a time management strategist for working moms, and today we are going to talk about why planning in seasons works better than hustling through every week like it's business as usual. So often we default to trying to repeat the same routines and rhythms on the same days at the same times every single week, no matter what season of life we're in. But guess what? Your bandwidth shifts, your family schedule changes, and you, as a working mom, change. So, trying to maintain a sprint pace through a marathon season, especially one like summer break, is a fast track to disappointment and burnout. And that's truly the hustle trap that summer break can turn into, right? So let's talk about seasonal planning kind of 101. So, seasonal planning is about zooming out. It's asking yourself, what is my capacity right now in this season of life? What actually matters to me in this season? What can I simplify? What can I pause? What can I prep for later so that I'm not stressed out whenever I come out of this season? And it's not about giving up your goals. It's about respecting your current reality. The structure that you have during the school year is very, very different than a more lax schedule in the summer when it comes to vacations, kids out from school, and just generally a slower pace of life. The same can be said about how back to school season in the fall is very, very different than January and February after the new year. Each of these seasons of life have their pros and also have their challenges, right? So, something that you can do as a working mom is lean into each of these seasons and adjust your routines and rhythms to each season instead of trying to force them to fit all year round. And I would say that this is one of the biggest missed opportunities that we have as working moms. So, this could mean adjusting things like your morning or your evening routine. It could mean working out at a different time, maybe meal prepping differently, not having as big of a launch for your business, maybe shifting the focus at your full time job to a different project, maybe even adjusting your kids' bedtime so that you have a little bit more time with them since they don't have to go to bed so early. There's so many different things that you can change during the summer break season to help make your schedule less chaotic, more enjoyable, but still ultra productive. So, I also want to talk about the benefits of planning in seasons. One of them is that you reduce guilt because you're not comparing this time of year to another time of year, right? It's summer break. You're likely staying up later since the sun is out longer. You might be eating dinner later since the kids don't have to be up super early for school the next day. You might be sleeping in more. Your full time job might have a slower feel since a lot of people are taking vacations. You might feel less structured in your daily schedule since the kids don't have school. Your house might feel messier and maybe it, gets messier faster since everyone is home more. Your business might feel slower. Revenue might be taking a dip. Maybe you're spending more time having fun at the pool or at the beach. This feels very different than the hustle of fall or the new beginnings of the new year, right? And I think one of the first things that we can do as working moms is just acknowledge that it's a different season. Because when you acknowledge that difference, then you're not trying to hold yourself to the same standard as other times of year. Another benefit is that you are proactive instead of reactive when you plan based on seasons. By acknowledging the differences in your schedule and time for each season, you are better equipped to proactively address any changes that need to be made. So instead of waking up the first week of summer without a game plan and feeling absolutely blindsided, you can go into summer break with a plan. Even if the plan is to have a lax schedule, when your brain knows what to expect, then it doesn't panic as much. So if you know that your side business is going to get less attention during the summer months, you can plan for that and avoid the guilt and shame that can sometimes happen for business owners when we slow down. However, a note on this, I would argue that summer is actually a fantastic time for women who have a side business along with their full-time job to get ahead with some of the behind the scenes work, right? But honestly, that's a conversation for a different day. That is a different episode. I'd love to know if you want me to share some of my thoughts on that, and I'll be happy to make a special episode all about that. And then another benefit is that you actually build momentum because you're doing what fits instead of trying to force things that don't fit into your schedule, right? The fastest way to burnout is overcommitting yourself. And that is a hill that I will die on. The fastest way to burnout is overcommitting yourself. And overcommitment happens when we don't have a realistic view of our bandwidth. So take a look at June and July. Map out anything big that's happening: vacations, home projects, holidays, events, and then look at your remaining time. Take some time to truly evaluate what you feel comfortable taking on over the summer. If you're taking a European vacation at the beginning of July, you probably won't launch a new podcast at that same time. Or if launching your new podcast is a priority this summer, consider booking a summer camp for the kids the week of your launch so that you can focus on that. My point here with that example is to think of these big things that will happen over the summer and figure out a plan right now, this week, to mold your life and your schedule around those things. So how do I personally apply this to my summer? Well, for me personally, my summer this year is dedicated to networking, connecting, and some behind the scenes work like my brand new website that's coming. And then also prepping for a really big fall launch of the September cohort for Time Management Academy. Plus, I'm also giving myself more breathing room so that when this big launch comes in the fall, I have the energy that it requires. Plus, I just want to have more fun this summer. Harper's at a really fun age. I want, yesterday we got out the slip and slide. I want to get the slip and slide out all the time. I want to be able to go to the pool randomly with her and have so much fun. I want to be able to say yes more than I'm saying no. So that means that I need to make sure that I am planning my summer in a way where I'm still getting those things done, like networking, collaborating, and doing some behind the scenes work and prepping for the launch, but I'm also prioritizing that fun. Plus, this summer is especially full for us because we are moving later this month. I have actually built in extra white space into my calendar. And I have done a lot of work ahead of time so that during that move, I know that I can focus on the move. I'm leaning on my systems more than ever during that time. And I've also said no to a few things that I would normally say yes to. And that's okay because I know that this move is something that is the highest priority for us during this time frame. And I can set things up in my business to where my business still runs. I'm still connecting with people. I'm still here. I'm still visible, but it doesn't require me to constantly be behind my computer getting things actively done when we need to focus on moving. Now, if this is resonating and you are like, yes, I need a little reset and some fresh summer energy, come to my free virtual networking event on Friday, June 13th, right? This is hosted by me and my good friend, Amanda McKenney, and you're going to hear our favorite practical summer planning tips. You're also going to network with other women entrepreneurs, and you're going to have some fun. Plus, it's free. So you get to learn a little bit about summer planning, You also get to expand your network. We're actively going to put you kind of in like speed dating for networking. So you're going to get to meet lots of other women and you're going to get to have some fun. And this is your chance to get clarity and community to kick off your summer really strong for your business. You can grab your spot at thelauraddavis.com/networking. I can't wait to see you there, and I will see you in next week's episode.